Hello, good morning, and welcome to the Light TV Breakfast Show with your host, George Sompola. Indeed, it is a beautiful Tuesday morning, the 17th of March, 2026. What a beautiful day. What a lovely day it is. Indeed, this far in the year, already it's the 17th of March, 2026. Indeed, 2026 is cruising like crazy, but that's not to worry. Indeed, it is a year of progress, even as we already set those resolutions. We know we are working on them day by day. If you're just tuned in, you're watching us live on Facebook, not to mention watching us live on your TV screens on channel 121 on your Top Star decoder. You're also watching us live on YouTube. If you're just tuned in, dear viewer, please feel free. Please, you are welcome. Indeed, you can comment on Facebook, comment on our page, and tell us what you're up to this Tuesday morning. It is a beautiful day. It is a wonderful day. Maybe you're preparing for work, maybe you're rushing for work, but take time to be gracious. Take time to say hello to the person next to you. Yes, we live in a busy world. We live in a world where we must run, where we must do one or two things, but it doesn't hurt to say hello to the person next to you. It doesn't hurt to wear a good, genuine smile and to say hello to the person next to you. Sometimes we even forget to say hello to our spouses or even to our children, and we are just busy in a hurry, rushing for work, and maybe your wife is saying, honey, how are you morning? But then you just dash off for work. Let's at least take time to say hello to the people next to us, to the people who really matter. Yes, work is very, very important. Being busy, yes, it is important, but let's strike a balance. Let's also learn to appreciate our loved ones. Dear husbands, let's appreciate our wives. Wives the same, appreciate husbands, and appreciate your kids too, and say hello to them every morning when you wake up. Yes, sometimes it's really hectic, but you can still be gracious to your family and even to the person next to you. Of course, some of us are already stuck in traffic, in this busy traffic of our beloved city of Lusaka, already stuck in traffic, but that doesn't matter. We can still be gracious even on the road. We can still be calm. Maybe some of us are running late, but we can still be calm and we can still wear a smile no matter how difficult it is. We can just find something to be glad. We can just find something to be joyful about. We can find something positive to think about. Yes, work is important, but family is important too. Being polite and kind to others is important too. So dear viewer, you're tuned in and you're watching us live right now. Just think of something positive this morning. Think of something which you can enjoy. Think of something that will uplift your spirit. And that's why we're here as the Light TV Breakfast Show, to encourage you, to inspire you, to help you have a transformed life, to not just to inform, but to inspire you, to help you have a transformed life so that you can get better and better. Indeed, your ideas are always welcome on the Breakfast Show. Please send your ideas, post what you're doing, tell us what you're doing, maybe even a short video of what you're up to this Tuesday morning, and even what you're up to during the day and what you would also like to see on the Light TV Breakfast Show. Your views are welcome, your comments are welcome. Please just feel free to send them even this morning. Right up now on the Breakfast Show, in today's Light TV Breakfast Show, we have a very interesting topic, and we are looking at climate, communities, and the future. And of course, some are wondering, climate, others are saying, oh, we've heard that before. We've heard this climate change. Is it a Greta Thunberg thing once again? Always protesting about climate. Oh, climate, what this climate thing? We already know that the climate is changing. But then it's a very important topic. It's something we can still look at and discuss. Of course, climate, communities, and the future. That's what we are looking at today. Indeed. Join the discussion. What do you feel about climate, communities, and the future? I'm sure we've noticed a lot of things, the things that have been happening. I remember back then in the month of June when I was a little boy, June was the coldest month. But these days, in certain years, you can find July is now colder than June. You find August can even be colder than June, and things just keep changing. And it's cause for concern because certain weather patterns have changed. Certain climate patterns have changed even in our beloved Zambia. So this is something that we also need to look in today. This is something that we are discussing today. It's not some boring topic as others might feel. It's something that's actually affecting us today. And we can see that a lot of things are happening. We just recently came out of a drought that was about late 2023, 2024. So this is indeed impacting and affecting us. From the droughts, of course, as mentioned, the 2024 drought affecting us, affecting farmers, to floods as well. Floods impacting communities. And of course, the climate keeps changing, weather patterns keep shifting, and we keep on wondering, we never used to have such weather patterns back then, but what's happening is like something is changing even in the climate, and this climate change is definitely impacting households. It's impacting how we live, the way we do things. So climate change is something that's real. It's impacting households, farmers, businesses, public services across our beloved nation of Zambia. So today we are going to explore how communities are responding and how we can build resilience and what practical steps we can take individually and collectively, even as we tackle the issue of climate, the communities, and future. But the big question is, how is Zambia responding? And what can communities do to adapt and become resilient with this issue of climate change? This is something that is impacting us, and all of us are affected in one way or another. If there's a drought, there isn't enough food. If there's excessive rainfall and there are a lot of floods, the food supply also gets affected. So this is definitely cause for concern, and this is something that we are trying to tackle today. So stay with us. Even as we break this topic down, let's hear expert insight, let's learn from each other, and let's see what we can do in order to mitigate the issues of climate change. This is something we need to work we need to work together to look into and to come up with different solutions on how we can deal with climate change. Of course, coming up, we have a lot of interesting things that we'll be discussing. Among other things, of course, climate change. We'll have news buzzing, we'll have our weather forecast, and we'll have a lot of insights even as we continue to look at our interesting topic today, climate, communities, and the future. Please stay tuned.
Your latest news.
The report was made by Mr. Abu Gujar, a 37-year-old Indian national residing in Olympia.
Top happening stories.
SDG number 6 on water and sanitation.
Community update.
Zambia and the nation at large is still mourning the death of the 60th Republican president.
Business news.
From here, there's going to be a great multiplier effect.
On the sport crossovers.
Of awaiting that the body would come back.
And a very good race, and we as a country are very proud of the works that he has done.
Kodi Mwamverako. Get in touch with our news team on the numbers on your screen. Yes, Kodi Mwamverako. We are in your face. We are closer to you. Light TV is a footway away from you. Kodi Mwamverako. Zambia's trusted TV broadcaster.
It is rebranded. We have heard, we have listened, and now it's the same but extraordinary. But Battle of the Mic. Battle of the Mic. Battle of the Mic. Solo artists, singers, bands, groups, choirs, dancers. It's all about numbers. Register at only 250 kwacha per entry and stand a chance to win 100,000 kwacha and many more prizes. Send a 2 minutes video to 0961 237304 to register. Let the stage shape your future and make you shine to the world. It's the 2026 Battle of the Mic. Battle of the Mic 2026 Extraordinary.
Others were working, they had good jobs, but they lost it along the way. So they need your support, they need your help. Feel free to visit our center so that we advise on how we can come together and help these individuals.
Christ Life is more than a school. It's a nurturing community. Our qualified teachers use innovative methods that keep the minds and hearts of our students engaged. Our cafeteria isn't just a place to eat. It's a hub of nourishment and community. Our sports activities are always filled with fun and creativity that promote teamwork and confidence in every child. With access to the latest educational software, learners are prepared for the digital age with confidence and creativity, empowering students with skills in and out of the classroom. Swimming is a life skill that is cardinal for survival. Our ballet programs teaches more than just dance. It installs grace, discipline, and expression. The heart of knowledge builds in our school library with a wide collection of fiction, non-fiction, reference material, and digital resources. Our school offers exciting and safe playground facilities for both ECE and primary students. Safety is our top priority, and our drivers are carefully selected for their professionalism and commitment to the well-being of our students. At Christ Life School, we believe education is not just about passing exams, it's about preparation. So, if you are looking for a school that feels like home, where your child will be known, loved, and challenged to reach their highest potential, then Christ Life School is the place.
Auto-Based Engineering is a fully registered company that has services such as towing service, we have a saloon, we repair cars, we have a car wash,
barbershop is a top-notch,
and many more.
Auto-Based Engineering is the company which you can rely on. We touch any car. We are just at the corner of Pemba Road and Mosotunya Road. You know what? We deliver the best. Yes, we are growing very fast. It's a top-notch company ever in Zambia. When you come, wherever you are, whether you are in America, you come to visit Zambia, please just go to Google Maps, type Auto-Based Engineering Group. It will take you where we are. Auto-Based is a one-stop shop.
Come to Auto-Based Engineering where the best is done. If you want to know where we're located along Mosotunya Road, just right at the corner of Pemba Road, Chilende South. If you want to contact us, you can call us on 0977 18 12 73.
Auto-Based Engineering, doing what we know best. Auto-Based, Auto-Based, Auto-Based.
Get ready for the most anticipated talk show of the year.
Let's talk about it with Pastor Pauline. So we have been discussing foundations upon which most of the relationships are built.
Join us as we tackle the toughest social issues affecting our community, from child marriages to youth empowerment, and from gender-based violence to women empowerment, from governance to corruption, and, of course, women participation in politics, and other male-dominated industries. We will be discussing it all.
Leah, confessed it in Genesis chapter 29, verse 32. She says, God has opened my womb because he has seen my affliction. But despite that, Jacob did not love her.
Our presenter will guide the conversation, ensuring that you have a respectful and thought-provoking discussion. And you have a chance to join in on the conversation through our phone-in segment. Call us live, share your thoughts, and ask your questions. Don't miss out on this opportunity to be part of the conversation. Let's talk about it. Every Wednesday at 1 p.m. on CBC TV. Don't miss.
Hello, welcome back to the Light TV Breakfast Show. If you're just tuned in, you're watching us live on channel 121 on your Top Star decoder. You're also watching us live on Facebook and YouTube. And right now, I'm joined in the studio by my co-host, Pastor
Shepherd Mulenga. Thank you so much, Pastor Joe. You're looking good today.
Oh, thanks. You're looking good.
You look more energetic today.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
I hope you had enough rest.
Yeah, anyway, I did. At least I tried to get some rest.
Wonderful.
It's so hectic. Sometimes rest is actually a luxury these days because we're always busy, always running up and down. And we wonder, when can I actually find time to rest? And it's like, we are always on, you find maybe there's something just pops up, an emergency, you can't rest. An emergency, this is happening, happening. And you're wondering,
especially when you have grown up, you have a lot of responsibility, a lot of things that you have to do, you have a lot of duties on your head. So it's it's tough for you to have enough rest because you're thinking, what am I going to do? How am I going to make it in life? So, but it's important also for us to have rest, yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, sure.
And we're back on our lovely topic of climate change. Is it crop failure, farming challenges, less rainfall, drought, floods, heavy rains, higher temperatures, extreme heat, increased food prices, and scarcity? How has climate change affected you? How is the climate affecting you? So feel free to share, feel free to comment. The lines are showing on the screen. Feel free to tell us how climate has affected you, how climate change and the weather are affecting you even in this day and age. So, Pastor Shepherd, what effects are you able to notice in terms of climate change?
There is a lot of effects that I've noticed when it comes to climate change. But before we can dive into the effect of the climate change, most people don't really understand what is climate change. You know, climate change is just simply a long-term shift in temperature and all weather patterns. It can be maybe we used to experience rains like you mentioned on preamble, and things have changed. You see, there's really a change of that. So as a result of those changes, there are some of the things that actually affected our lives. Yes, so and those often are accelerated most by human activities like deforestation and other things that people are actually doing. They also contribute to the climate change. So some of the effect that I've noticed when it comes to climate change, especially when we are here in Zambia, when you look at the rainfall pattern, it has really changed. You see that we used to experience rains long time ago where the rains will start as early as October. You find somewhere in September, October, November, but now
Independence Day.
Yes, on Independence Day rain would actually rain. But when you look at now, it really takes time for it to rain. It will start maybe probably especially in December. That's when you experience a lot of rains December until the rains actually stops maybe somewhere in April, May. So now when you look at these things, you find that we are experiencing a lot of floods in different areas. In different compounds, people are actually complaining because of the weather patterns that have actually changed, and this has resulted into floods.
Exactly.
Yes. So those are some of the things like we are seeing floods in vulnerable districts where we're able to see a place actually flooded with there because rain is actually raining a lot. Yes. So
indeed. And do you remember the 2024 drought, which was so bad? Because I remember February being so hot. And I remember back in Ndola before coming to Lusaka, you find you are watering certain plants, you're watering certain crops like rape or any other vegetable, and even after watering, you find because it's so hot, the things just wilt, and you find that the crops or plants have been destroyed. So this is something real, because you hear of climate skeptics where they say no, this thing doesn't exist, this is just a figment of some people's imagination, this is complete nonsense. But then we are experiencing the effects, because whoever thought would have a hot February like that one in 2024 all months when it's supposed to be raining like crazy, and then now we are experiencing this extreme heat, and it was actually shocking to me. Wasn't it shocking to you?
It was also shocking to me, just like you have explained. Yes, we have seen that it has really affected, and we're able to see that some of the effects of climate change in Zambia by the Ministry of Education actually mentioned some of the things that they will actually do in order to actually maybe bring back the patterns that we used to experience. Some of the effects that has actually affected us in climate change includes droughts, includes flooding. Like we experienced some droughts the previous years, but this year at least we have a lot of rainfall, and it has resulted into flooding where we are able to see flooding, and also some years back we experienced agriculture decline. Yes, so those were some of the things that we actually experienced, and we saw the Ministry of Education also emphasized that they are actually the Ministry of Education is actually weaving climate awareness, is actually doing weaving climate awareness into the public learning and community engagement. And we also see that the ministry is actually implementing a nationwide tree planting, and also campaign in schools to promote environment stewardship, which is a very good thing which they are doing, that so that they'll be able to do it. The teachers have been mobilized to guide over 6 million learners in understanding and mitigation of climate change. So this actually will change a lot of things, especially when we plant trees. And so as the Ministry of Education has earlier stated on that these are some of the things that they are doing. Yes, I remember one of the video that we have, Professor Benson Banda mentioned some of the things that has happened in terms of climate change and some of these things, and he explained it very well, that what we used to experience and some of the things that the Ministry of Education is trying to put in place in terms of, because we really need to educate especially the learners about this climate change, so that especially when the student, the learners fully understand how we can keep, how we can actually control. Climate change can actually be controlled, especially when us human beings, we take full responsibility of doing what's needful. I remember a long time ago, before people start farming, they used what we used to call Chitemeno system. You remember?
Yes.
Yes, Chitemeno system, where people actually cut trees, deforestation, people cut trees anyhow because they want to do farming. So, and that you see now, so people really need to be educated. Yes, we can do Chitemeno system, but it can really affect, especially we find that most people, they will just burn the bush. They just burn the bush because they think it's just clearing. They just want the bush to be cleared, but that's not how you can actually take care of the environment.
Exactly.
Yes.
Because I remember with that system, yes, they say like when you slash and burn, part of the land is left, and nothing grows on it, because after you slashed and burnt, there is also fertility, which they say comes out, like the land becomes more productive after the slash and burn.
Yes.
Maybe it can be done in a controlled way, but not where you cut down all the trees. No, where maybe just certain plants, because there is a concept of in agriculture where you can actually leave the land fallow, where you leave the land empty for some time, but you plant on another piece of land. Then when you finish planting on that piece of land, you now go back to that old piece of land because the fertility of that land has been restored. So I think that's a controlled way of doing it, other than just burning everything.
Yes, I think it's that's the best thing we can do. Just like also the Ministry of Education is also emphasizing, especially because their target is for them at least to plant 6 million trees. Yes, even I saw one of the advert by ABSA Bank was encouraging the community and the schools also to plant more trees, and they are saying that whichever school that will plant more trees, they will actually win an award, something. There's some giveaways that they want. So we are able to see that such kind of initiative that they are bringing awareness, and they are teaching people how they should actually keep the environment. It will actually bring we can actually control some of these things, because if we take responsibility in what we are doing, because how it has affected the nation of Zambia, just like you said. Also, we saw in the previous years there was a reduction of hydroelectrical power because there was
our famous load shedding.
Yes, Zambia, we depend so much. For us, our power depend on hydro.
Exactly.
So like the previous years, we suffered where we were experiencing load shedding 24 hours without electricity and like that, because there was not enough lanes like the previous years we have. But to thank God, this year it has rained. So those are some of the effects that it brought about. And also, it can also increase in health risk and water scarcity, where you find, especially when we are having a lot of floods and you'll find that the water will mix with sewage, will mix with these other things, and you'll find that if the water is not treated well, we'll find increase into health risk. I remember the previous years we also experienced cholera outbreak.
Exactly.
Yes. And waterborne disease, yes, you see those kind of disease, they will be able to come in because as a result of the weather change pattern.
Exactly, and our peri-urban areas really experience this. You find year after year, Kanyama compound or this other compound, Mississippi compound, you just name it. These floods really also impact. And, when at least there are certain years when it's stable, and there are years when there are floods, because floods also affect our food supply because crops can't go properly because there's too much water, and crops end up being washed away. So we can see that the effects are really serious. Food prices are affected. The food that we eat is affected. So it's something that we really need to look into.
Yes, what you have said is very true. So viewers would love to know where you are watching us and how it has actually affected the weather pattern, especially the floods that we are experiencing in this nation of Zambia. You can tell us, you can let us know, and maybe you can give us some tips how we can actually control, especially we'll come later on into drainage and these other things, so that we can see how we can actually manage some of these things. So we'll be able to watch a short video from where Professor Banda was actually saying something concerning this same thing, and we'll be able to see from the Ministry of Education. Stay tuned.
a global village, and in this global village, you realize that there are a lot of activities which take place continent by continent, country by country. Over a long period of time, you have heard of industrialization. In the process of industrialization, as we are trying to industrialize, the world or the earth was getting depleted in terms of resources. The processes of industrializations, some of them generated chemicals, which sometimes they call them CFCs. And these chemicals, they go into the atmosphere. And I think you have seen elsewhere very big factories with fumes going everywhere. Over a long period of time, these things acted on the ozone layer. The ozone layer is a layer which is protecting the atmosphere, 12 to between 12 from 12 kilometers going upwards there. Some say 80, 70, 100 up to 10,000 kilometers. But within this region, it creates a shield. So from the sun's rays going into this shield, it filters these radiations to protect the environment. Now, as these activities have been going on, we have now come to a situation where the ozone layer is getting depleted, and the process of depleting ozone layer becomes a big challenge for everyone. It will not choose where you are located, and that's why now we are saying, okay, Africa and Zambia in particular, are we able to contribute to the protection of this ozone layer? Now, here is how God created the world. Me, I'm breathing out carbon dioxide. The plant is absorbing carbon dioxide. So when I breathe out carbon dioxide, the plant absorbs carbon dioxide, it releases oxygen. I need oxygen. So this is a symbiotic system which takes place. So as long as we are on Earth and this oxygen is coming out from many trees, and some of it is being used to make other chemicals and things like that, we still have some oxygen which is going to build back the ozone layer. The ozone is a mixture of 3 oxygens, which now go and now shield and protect those holes. The reason why we are trying to come up with this strategy of planting a tree each is to bring in the value of life. Because from the tree, there is life. If that oxygen is not there, we will not live anymore. So we want now to go to the children. And if these children can get the values of planting a tree, taking care of the tree, utilizing a tree, then we have protected the whole world. And this is why we are trying to come up with these strategies in the Ministry of Education.
Thank you so much, viewers, for actually watching and staying tuned. You actually saw Professor Benson Banda from the Ministry of Education actually was talking about how we can actually deal with this climate change. Yes, maybe some of the questions we would love to ask. Why should all community care about this same climate change? Because mostly think climate change only impacts just the farmers, because they are the one who are farming, just maybe some people in the rural areas. But it affects everyone. Why should we care? What do you think, Pastor Joe? Why should everyone care about this climate change?
I think we should care because, number one, livelihoods are definitely affected. Because if our farmers are not producing, what are we going to eat? Because we think, we see these things in ShopRite, we see all these things in different supermarkets, in different superstores, and we even queue up for them. Even when it's a Black Friday, that promotion we do, you find people are pushing trolleys. All this has been reduced and people are busy queuing up. All food prices are lower. There is a promotion at ShopRite or Pick and Pay. That food actually comes from somewhere. It just doesn't affect farmers.
Yes, I think what you have said is you have said a very good point. Yes, why we should care is because livelihood are also affected. Many lives, even as we are affected, whether direct or indirect, we are still affected because, like you mentioned, the farmers, they are the one who do. So if we are experiencing climate change in terms of the weather pattern and also the rain flooding and other things, you'll find that we won't have enough food security in our country. Because why? Because of the weather pattern. And some of the things is also businesses will actually face a higher cost due to environmental impact. Yes, they'll be able to face a higher cost due to environmental impacts because of some of the things that has happened. So business will also be affected, people who are doing business. Yes.
Yes, and I think, of course, as mentioned earlier, sanitation, and we are now battling a cholera crisis. And this is all due to sanitation. You find, of course, unfortunately, we tend to throw a lot of things in our drainages. And when there's excessive rainfall, those drainages get blocked, and the sewer also mixes with water, and the garbage gets mixed. And now you have cholera, you have typhoid, you have so many waterborne diseases. So this is something which we need to look into seriously. And also, actually, I think we also need to check our lifestyles in our beloved nation of Zambia. Like the throwaway culture, I think we really need to work on that, because we can see there are years when there's excessive rainfall, and if we are just throwing things in the drainages and not caring to pick them up and not caring to keep our environments clean, when floods come, we start complaining about cholera, we start complaining about poor drainage. Yes, quite all right, Lusaka has a lot of rocks underneath it. There's the bedrock formation. That's why we experience a lot of floods. But then we shouldn't make it worse with throwing a lot of things in our drainages. I think it's like we are just adding salt to the wound in terms of that. So it also calls for our lifestyles to change in that area.
Yes, like you have mentioned, also lifestyle, and also it also brings migration pressure. You see where you find that because of floods, because of these things which has happened, you find that people are forced to move from where they are because it's flooded. You can't sleep in the place where you're. I remember I watched the recently with what happened in Lundazi and also this other eastern part. You find that some of the houses were actually immersed by water. Now imagine people couldn't sleep in those houses because the water was there, and you find that people now start migrating, moving from that side, going to that side. So it's create that migration pressure. And also we saw also what happened in is it Monze, this somewhere that side in southern, where we saw that they actually had to send the military air force to go that side and actually rescue people because of what was happening. We saw the DMMI was able to actually help people with some of the things, the materials, and the people were rescued from that place. So it causes migration pressure. That's the reason why we should care so much, because if we don't care, because our family will also be affected because of the lanes. Yes, I saw recently there is a video, even in the past, should be the last month, one of the baby died in the house while it was raining. They left the baby in the sitting room, and everyone went to sleep. And when they woke up, they find that the water actually entered the house, and the baby died. Just imagine. So there is there is also loss of life. We find that many people will actually, because of that, people die, and other things that happens. Houses actually get damaged. Can you imagine in your house, your TV gets soaked and these other things? You'll find that there's also loss of property.
Exactly.
Yes. So those are some of the things why we should care.
Indeed. Yeah. And also when we take a reflection, it affects everyone, not just farmers, as we have been saying, or not just the youth, but everyone. You've talked about displacement, where people were living in a certain area, but then the floods come and now they have to immigrate, and now you find a situation where people are put in camps and they can't go back to their areas because their areas are waterlogged, and it's a sad state of affairs. You cannot go back to your old lifestyle or the things you used to do. Maybe you used to farm in a certain area, but it's waterlogged and you can't go back.
Yes, like you have mentioned, we saw there was a record, some statistics. They mentioned that about more than 520 Chakwit Bridge were damaged because of heavy rainfall. Just imagine, which means the routes that the people were supposed to move from this side going to the other side, they couldn't move because of why? The bridge were damaged. So migration also is restricted. There is social strain. People actually restrained just to remain in the same. People cannot go for work. People cannot do even other things because of some of the things that are happening. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's why as we reflect, businesses get affected because imagine you used to go to a certain area, a bridge is washed away and you can't cross a certain area because the stream has flooded, the bridge has been washed away.
Yes.
So now what can you do? How can the people who are selling on the other side have business? So it's something which is really, we really need to look into. I think maybe even stronger and better infrastructure can help.
Yes. Viewers who are watching us would love you can phone in so that we can discuss, we can hear your comment, how you have been affected by the floods and by this climate change. You can let us know by calling on the numbers that are actually showing on the screen there, or if you are watching us live on Light TV Zambia, that is on Facebook, you can comment and we'll be able to read the comments that actually you can comment there and we'll be able to read. And if you want, you can actually phone in so that people can hear what's happening in your area. If you have got solution how we can actually overcome these challenges that we are facing, please you can call in so that we can discuss. Yes, so just a quick question that we are asking you is, how has climate change affected your area? How has climate change affected your area? Is it crops failing? Is it the crops are failing? Is it farming challenges, or is it less rainfall or drought, or is it floods? Maybe there is heavy rainfall in your area. Please you can let us know. Or maybe there is high temperature or extreme heat or increased food prices, scarcity. Please you can actually call in and we would love to, so that we can have a discussion and we can hear your comment. We'll be able to take a short break. As we come back, then we'll be able to see what's buzzing in the news.
Thank you so much for tuning in. You're watching Teen Diaries.
Yeah, today let's get loud about something. About bullying. We deal with this on social media, in schools, and in our workplaces.
Take me deeper than my feet could ever.
Could you share your story in a circumstance where you will find yourself being bullied?
I was able to respond. I mean, you don't have to agree. Someone talks to you like, hey, you're too skinny, you're too fat. You don't need to agree with that situation.
So did you ever reach out to any of the supervisors in school, your principal? Did you ever reach out to anyone?
After like 1.5 years of doing that, my friend was like, this is too much, just stand your ground, tell them off.
It's like, don't always listen to what people say, because some people are just always so negative. Like, look at yourself, you're beautiful in the mirror. And I always used to go to my mirror and tell myself, no, I'm beautiful.
Teen Diaries, my heart unfolds, pages of fire, anything goes, laughing, crying, scars I hold. Teen Diaries, my soul is told.
Welcome back to the Light TV Breakfast Show, and right now we dive straight into what's buzzing and what's going on in Zambia and around the world. And our first story is about the World Bank. The World Bank has approved 45 million United States dollars under the second Zambia Climate and Economic Resilience Programmatic Development Policy financing. The funds to be dispersed through the International Development Association are intended to reinforce international support for Zambia's ongoing macroeconomic reform program and efforts to strengthen economic resilience. Finance and National Planning Minister Dr. Stumbeko Musokotwane described the budget support as a reflection of growing international confidence in Zambia's reform agenda and commitment to strengthening economic governance. Dr. Musokotwane explained that the approved operation will support Zambia's reform agenda through three interlinked policy pillars. First, fiscal management and economic resilience. Private sector investment and enabling sectors, disaster risk management and climate resilience. He noted that the third pillar reflects Zambia's vulnerability to climate-related shocks affecting agriculture, water resources, and electricity supply. The minister added that the government is also working on measures to enhance the financial sustainability of the water sector and strengthen the regulatory autonomy of the National Water Supply and Sanitation Council. That's an interesting story.
Yes, that's an interesting story. Yeah, that's a wonderful where we're able to see that 45 million to support Zambia's economic reforms. This is a huge amount of money.
It is.
Yes, it's a huge amount of money. So this funding which has come in, hopefully the government can actually do like it has mentioned. It will actually change the economy. Yes, it will actually change the economy, just like according to Zambian's Minister of Finance, Tumbe Musokotwane, he says that this support shows international partnership trust the reform Zambia is implementing. And he also mentioned that the funding will support actually 3 major policy pillars, which he mentioned about the fiscal management and economic resilience, which will be a benefit to our economy, because this pillar focuses on how government manages money and strengthens the economy, which includes reducing debt pressure. It also increasing transparency and accountability, and also improving how government spends public funds, and also making the economic stable even during global shocks. So this will actually help if they can actually concentrate on fiscal management and economic resilience, just like they have said, if some of the money can be allocated and so that it can be done. Because some of the examples is that better budgeting and controlling government spending, so Zambia does not fall into excess debt again. We don't want to fall into debt again. So this amount of money can actually help a lot, Pastor Joy, if
yes,
it can be allocated in that one. And he also mentioned another policy pillar where he mentioned about the private sector investment and enabling sectors. Yes, this pillar also is very much important because it aims to encourage businesses and investors to grow their economy, which will be wonderful if they can invest in this actually small businesses and also the investors, so that we can actually grow the economy. So what the government actually wants is to create a better business environment, which is a plus if they can be able to do that and they implement it, is to create a better business environment and also reduce barriers for investors, which is also a plus, and also support industry like agriculture, mining, tourism, and energy, and also promote job creation, which will also be a plus to our economy. Yes. And also the last pillar that he mentioned is about disaster risk management and climate resilience. Disaster risk management and resilience, which is also a wonderful pillar that focuses on promoting Zambia from climate-related disease such as droughts and the floods, the one that we are actually discussing. It will also help if this one can actually be put, it can be executed, and Zambia's economy rely heavily. We know that Zambia's economy actually we heavily rely on agriculture. Agriculture and also water resources and also hydropower, electricity, and also mining. Yes, those are actually what we rely our economy. So if this can be invested, and we'll be able to see improve in some of the things that actually they have been mentioned there. So this is wonderful. This funding which we have received, it's really wonderful. The Minister of actually the way he has explained, the Minister of Finance, Mr. Musokotwane, if he can put it into practice and those things, it will really help us a lot. Yes.
Okay, and I think it will go a long way. It's like providing a cushion to what we are going through as a nation, but at least coming up with some measures to help us mitigate climate change risks, because our government has realized that this is a problem. This is a serious problem because we've seen sudden changes in weather, and sometimes I don't know if you've noticed, even in this March, like some days it's going to be really hot, almost like October. Some days you find it's really chilly, but during the same day, maybe at night it gets hot. So this is something affecting us, because some plants and crops are actually very sensitive to these weather changes, and the government is stepping up and making sure that at least some mitigation is taking place over this issue.
Yes. our next news that's buzzing is that Zambia eye Vietnam model to improve farming productivity. Yeah, Zambia is seeking to boost agriculture productivity through enhanced cooperation with Vietnam following a study tour by a government delegation dispatched by President Hakainde Hichilema. Speaking during a media briefing in Vietnam, Agriculture Minister Ruben Mutola said the delegation held meetings with Vietnam ministers and engaged farmers, research institute and other stakeholders to learn from the country's successful agriculture reforms. Mr. Mutola added that the delegation also toured the Western Highland Agriculture and Forestry Science Institute, where they observed modern farming technologies aimed at improving agriculture productivity. Meanwhile, Finance and National Planning Minister Situmbeko Musokotwani revealed that the team also visited the Coffee Museum in Dakar, Leka, to study Vietnam coffee industry and its exports growth. Dr. Musokotwani said lessons from the Zambia tour will be presented to the president and cabinet for consideration as Zambia continues reviewing its agricultural policies. The minister further disclosed that Zambia and Vietnam have agreed to pursue a memorandum of understanding to strengthen cooperation in agriculture research and knowledge exchange in a bid to support farmers and improve production. Wow.
Yeah.
Yes. This was
an interesting model there from Vietnam.
Yes, this was a wonderful tour. I hope we learned something actually how they do the agricultural system and other things, so that those things like they have mentioned that they will come and present it here, so that we can actually implement some of those things that they have actually seen what our friends are doing outside there.
Yes, because we have way more land than Vietnam.
Yes.
So northern Muchinga, we can actually improve on our coffee production and different other crops. We can actually just diversify our agricultural system and be a food exporting country. Imagine exporting coffee, exporting different kinds of crops, even rice, because we do have conducive environments for that. Like Bangweulu has a lot of waterlogged areas, so we can actually expand and learn from other nations and improve our agricultural sector.
Yes, yeah, well explained that one. Yes. Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. We'll be able to just take a short break, and then we'll come for the weather forecast, and also we'll come and look at the current floods and also the debris and the community responsibility, how we can actually be responsible as a community in climate change and also taking care of the environment and our community and the future. Stay tuned.
Christ Life is more than a school. It's a nurturing community. Our qualified teachers use innovative methods that keep the minds and hearts of our students engaged. Our cafeteria isn't just a place to eat. It's a hub of nourishment and community. Our sports activities are always filled with fun and creativity that promote teamwork and confidence in every child. With access to the latest educational software, learners are prepared for the digital age with confidence and creativity, empowering students with skills in and out of the classroom. Swimming is a life skill that is cardinal for survival. Our ballet programs teaches more than just dance. It installs grace, discipline, and expression. The heart of knowledge builds in our school library with a wide collection of fiction, non-fiction, reference material, and digital resources. Our school offers exciting and safe playground facilities for both ECE and primary students. Safety is our top priority, and our drivers are carefully selected for their professionalism and commitment to the well-being of our students. At Christ Life School, we believe education is not just about passing exams. It's about preparation. So, if you are looking for a school that feels like home, where your child will be known, loved, and challenged to reach their highest potential, then Christ Life School is the place.
you a small business and want to grow? On Light TV, you too can sell. Make big earnings. Tap into the market. It's on fire, rolling and tasty. Irenda, irepia. Call our marketing team and be a part of this exciting offer. Revamp your business, re-strategize, and let our creative team take your business to the next level. Call the numbers on the screen now so that we can take your business to another level. Ilenda Ilipia, exclusive to Light TV.
Others were working, they had good jobs, but they lost it along the way. So they need your support, they need your help. Feel free to visit our center so that we advise on how we can come together and help these individuals.
Auto-Best Engineering is a fully registered company that has services such as towing service, we have a saloon, we repair cars, we have a car wash,
barbershop is a top-notch,
and many more.
Auto-Best Engineering is the company which you can rely on. We touch any car. We are just at the corner of Pemba Road and Mosotunya Road. You know what? We deliver the best. Yes, we are growing very fast. It's a top-notch company ever in Zambia. When you come, wherever you are, whether you are in America, you come to visit Zambia, please just go to Google Map, type Auto-Based Engineering Group. It will take you where we are. Auto-Based is a one-stop shop.
Come to Auto-Based Engineering where the best is done. If you want to know where we're located along Mosotunya Road, just right at the corner of Pemba Road, Chilende South. If you want to contact us, you can call us on 0977 18 12 73.
Auto-Based Engineering, doing what we know best.
It is rebranded. We have heard, we have listened, and now it's the same but extraordinary. Battle of the mic. Battle of the mic. Battle of the mic. Solo artists, singers, bands, groups, choirs, dancers. It's all about numbers. Register at only 250 kwacha per entry and stand a chance to win 100,000 kwacha and many more prizes. Send a 2 minutes video to 0961 237304 to register. Let the stage shape your future and make you shine to the world. It's the 2026 Battle of the Mic. Battle of the Mic 2026 Extraordinary.
Welcome back to the Light TV Breakfast Show. So far, we hope you're having a blast. We hope you're enjoying the amazing topic we are having concerning climate, the future, and communities, and what we can do to mitigate the issues of climate change. As we speak, many communities across the country are experiencing floods, debris accumulation, and overflowing drainages. These aren't just inconveniences. They are serious climate impacts affecting households, businesses, and communities. And right now we are joined by Mr. Mike Mwanza right here in the studio with us.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, that's it, Pastor Joe. And heavy rains combined with broken drainages and also drainage and poor management are caused street and neighborhood flood in some businesses, places. And also in town, we have Kabanana, we have Kanyama, we have Chalala. Also, we have part of Salama Park, where these drainages, they flood a lot. And we have different places in Lusaka, like also Obama. Many of the houses, people find that they are into flood. The water is entering the houses, water is entering their shops. So many places are flooding because of poor drainages and waste product. People, and they throw things anyhow.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Wonderful. And even as we continue looking at this amazing topic, even as we break it down, before that, let's take a look at our weather forecast. Now, as we look into Tuesday today, even as we look at the weather forecast, now let's look at Luapula, Northern Muchinga, Eastern and Southern provinces, including parts of Central Province. Now, this morning it is mainly cloudy, windy at times, mild to warm with a chance of isolated rain. And minimum temperatures will be ranging between 12 and 21 degrees Celsius. In the afternoon, it will be mainly cloudy and warm with rain and thunderstorms. And maximum temperatures will be ranging between 25 and 31 degrees Celsius. In the evening, it will be mainly cloudy, slightly windy and mild with isolated rain and thunder. Now, for western, northwestern, Copper Belt provinces, including eastern parts of Central Province, this morning are partly cloudy and slightly windy with a chance of isolated rain. Minimum temperatures will range between 15 and 20 degrees Celsius. In the afternoon, it will be mainly cloudy and warm to hot with isolated showers and thunderstorms. Maximum temperatures will range between 27 and 33 degrees Celsius. In the evening, it will be partly cloudy, slightly windy, mild to warm with a chance of isolated rain and occasional thunder. Now, the outlook for Wednesday is as follows. We will experience some rainfall activity and it will continue, of course, to cover the northeastern parts of Zambia. So that's where most of the rain will be concentrated on, the northeastern part of the nation of Zambia. So please, even as you are planning to travel to different parts of our beloved nation, just take into consideration the weather forecast so that you can plan adequately and so that you are not caught unaware in case there are different thunderstorms and different things which can catch you by surprise. Now we continue to look at the impacts of climate change and how it's affecting us as a community, affecting households and businesses and different things. When we look at households, we can see that water is entering homes and damaging property, and contaminated water increases the risk of waterborne diseases. And of course, we also have the issue of displacement or temporary relocation in extreme cases where people just have to leave and go to a different place. And then we also have businesses, shops and offices affected by flood water, and also supply chains being disrupted, reducing income and loss of perishable goods.
Yes. Like you mentioned of the household where it says water entering homes and also damaging property, like we mentioned in preamble. There are a lot of places where we see water actually entering homes, as a result of the change of climate and the floods that we're able to see. Those things are actually happening, I saw recently one of the video in Kabanana where water was everywhere. Someone made a comment saying that long time ago it would rain for 4 days, but one of the bloggers mentioned that it would rain for 4 days, but the place wouldn't be flooded. But now, because years have passed now and it's congested because the population has increased, now once it rains once in a day, it's flooded.
The whole road.
The whole road. Even cars can't pass everywhere. So what? Yes.
Like in Kabanana, there was a time I was driving around 19 hours. From that time, I've never been to Kabanana again. It was just rained for just maybe an hour. The road, the gap was like this, almost entering the car, the water. So now, people were falling in the drainage. The cars were just falling in the drainage because you would not separate where, or you won't know where the water ends, where the drainage starts and where the tarmac ends. Everywhere was just passing water. So if you don't know the road, you haven't been there for a long time, so it's difficult for people to make moves with cars. So find that people will be stopping on the middle of the road. Everyone wants to move on the middle of the road. For that now there will be congestion. So that's why I don't know what is needed because they have drainages.
What could be the main reason why we are experiencing, especially this flood in drainages? Is it that there is no proper planning of drainages? What could be the solution?
Okay.
What do we think?
I think for me it's a combination of all these, like failing to plan properly. We need to also look into city planning because it's like there is no proper city planning, and on top of that, our own carelessness where we tend to throw things in drainages. And when floods come, you find when rains come, now the drainages are overflowing. And Mr. Mike, you mentioned that someone said, no, it will take 4 days for the place to be flooded, but these days it's taking just 1 day. So I think even the throwing of things in our drainages, as we've stated earlier in the program, is also contributing a lot. So that's why we need to also take care of ourselves and take into consideration our lifestyles and our habits, because this throwaway culture is also killing us. And of course, poor city planning again is another thing we need to look into.
Okay, I love you have mentioned of people just disposing things anyhow and like that, and also you mentioned poor city planning. Now, I think some of also what has contributed to this, especially blockages of drainage. It's also people. You find that people throw anyhow. Where they're supposed to throw those garbage, they just throw them anyhow. And at the end, when those drainages are blocked, they end up complaining, saying, no, there is no what. But meanwhile, in fact, themselves also are contributing to the same problem.
The other thing is that some drainages are not, I would say, they are not completely.
Okay.
When you go to District Road, as you go to Obama, they have started with a drainage from Greatest Road, just approaching Kapuriamba there. The drainage ended from nowhere. So imagine what will happen to the feather. So water now start going now there, start going in the road, start going the tarmac, just going anyhow, start going people's house because the drainage was not proper planned, where they had a destination where water would go. So most of the drainages, they would start them properly, but there's no destination. They're just ending from nowhere.
Okay.
So I think that also has led to flooding in Lusaka.
Okay, so most of the drainages are not complete.
Yes, are not complete.
Okay.
They don't have a destination.
They don't have a destination where they're supposed to throw all the water that is coming from different areas. I think that point you have mentioned is true, because I remember where I used to stay in Salama, this side there is Tendere East. You'll find that water which is coming from Tendere East, this side, when it is coming to Salama, there is no proper drainage from that side. So water ends up going into the drainage, into people's house in Salama. As a result, roads are blocked. We have a lot of deeplies that side going into that. So it could also be that, because there is no proper planning and also there are blockages. I think it should be there. I think we should work on, especially on proper having proper drainages, because this thing it has been it has been repeating each time whenever we are having heavy rainfall. This is the most challenge we experience here especially in Lusaka here. Yes, I think we really need to work on that. Yes. So and also I think also the communities, people in the community, I think they have to be very much careful. Because you don't just throw things anyhow. Yes, because when people actually unblocking those drainages, do you know what they find? They find their diapers, they find all sorts of those things which they can be actually kept in the bin and later on be thrown. But people just throw them because it's lane. They just throw them anywhere. They just throw the trash. I think even us, we have a responsibility of also doing that.
There's a video that I watched on Facebook where in part of the Lusaka, water was just moving in road. So and now the water that was moving, it was moving with some bottles, a lot of cabbages. So now what happens? I've noticed the time I was driving when it was raining, most especially people from the ghetto, find that when it's raining, they don't want to pay those cabbages. So when it's raining, when water is moving, people would go there and throw garbages there. So you find that those garbages, how many people are going to throw garbages in the moving water? So you find that those garbages are going to be like going in the drainage. Therefore, find that they'll find a place where they will now they can't pass. They will be stuck there. They
will be blocked.
The water won't be moving now. Start moving on top of the tarmac now. So also we have a responsibility as the community to take responsible part in also making that garbages are well put in a designated place and also are being collected by the people that are supposed to collect the garbages.
Yes, that's why education is also very, very important. And we also need to be mindful of things like electronic waste, like maybe the battery cells. Because you find someone who also actually throw battery cells, and electronic waste is actually very harmful to the environment. You find someone can even throw a phone, on. You find someone can even throw cells which are meant for batteries of maybe different electronic appliances, even for vehicles. Someone just throws something and you don't know what electronic waste is there, and which can actually cause environmental degradation. So we need to really check our throw away culture, and we need to be mindful that these floods, this throwing of garbage when the drainages are blocked, it causes an increased burden on public services like clinics and transportation. Imagine you have to drive, like Mr. Mike mentioned, driving through water. The water has accumulated and now you have to pass through the water, and it can damage a low-lying vehicle like these low vehicles. Water enters the vehicle and the vehicle gets damaged.
Just like you have mentioned for the water, we would love the viewers can actually watch one of the video that what was happening in Kabanana when it actually rained. There was a lot of flooding and the water, the way it was passing, and that place, like I mentioned, one of the bloggers mentioned that in 1980 it would rain for 4 days and there was no flood in that place. Now today, once it rains once, there will be floods anywhere. It could be because of increase of population, and also so we need to take some measures and see how we can control this flooding. So we can look at that video even as we continue with the discussion. Thank you, viewers, for watching. You saw it yourself. That was the area in Kabanana. So tell us where you are watching us from. Would love to hear your views and what's happening how you're experiencing those floods, and what do you think could be the challenge and what do you think could be the solution? Because mostly people are just throwing things anyhow, and some of the things people just don't care. As a result, we are having a lot of drainage blockages, and most people we are complaining, say, no, it's not this. Yes, we know the government's supposed to make proper drainages, but if they were to make proper drainages in those compounds, are you going to take care of them? Are you going to make sure that those debris that we are throwing out, garbage, you find that people just throw anywhere? Are we going to ensure that those things will stop so that we can avoid blockages of drainages? Yes, so you can actually comment there. You can comment if you are watching us on Facebook. If you are watching us on Topsa, or you would love to phone in, we want your voice. We want to hear from you. Please, you can call in on the numbers that are actually scrolling on the screen so that we can have a better conversation and also have see your view from your end, from your side, what's happening in your compound, what's happening that side. Yes.
Yeah, clearly climate change is not an abstract. It shows up in our homes, workplace, and neighborhood, and it affects and are intensified by human factors like poor waste disposal and lack of community planning. So I think as we also cry for the government to do the right things, also we should also take part as the community to do the right things, because that's why we say, when we say the government, what is the government? Government is for the people. So the government cannot be formed despite us people. So there's a government because of what? Who makes the government? It's us people. So it's us. We are the same government that is supposed to doing the right things, because when they make those drainages for us, then also we need to take care of those drainages, because it's more like someone buys you a car, then imemotoka yo ipariponse mabampu ipita one day it will stop moving. You see, one day it will stop moving because you're not taking good care of that car. So also as the community, when we take care of our drainages and how we are the garbage disposals, if we take good care of these things, I think it will really help us to work on the flooding.
Yes, like we have mentioned some of the immediate causes of flooding and also debris in community today. We mentioned of the blockage of the drains and also waterways, which is a major contribution to the things that we are actually talking about. I think we really need to take care of ourselves. I remember there was a news which I saw on social media where where Findeco House is.
Yes,
that side, our tallest building.
Yes.
It's surrounded with with garbage. People throw anywhere, and it was all over social media because you would see where there is a flyover bridge, that side, this side, people are throwing everywhere.
As Doba passed there, Doba, Mr. Mwewa. Exactly. I think we have to send Mr. Mwewa that side. We just have to hand over the whole town to Mr. Mwewa. Say, like that man is not even scared. He's not scared to anyone. He can make anyone to double the paper, even if whether it's them that was thrown. I think if most of us would live like that, I think it would really help us. Because I also did that because I was driving just in Greatest Road. Then the people that were in the bus, Power Tools bus going to Chipata, just near Hybrid here. Then one of the people just throw a big plastic of banana covers.
Don't tell me.
So I had to go and stop in front of that bus. Then said, we didn't say you're not going to move. Just stop until the driver stops. What said the people are throwing something there. Go tell them to go and pick them. Until the conductor from that bus went to go and pick, and they went with. They said this is how we're supposed to do. So if each and every person would live like that, like Mr. Mwewa, Doba, we have to make that as our theme now. Doba, when you just see someone throwing something, let's use our theme, Doba. Then I think we'll move together.
What you're saying is true, and I don't know where we adapted this habit of throwing things anywhere, especially when you're in the car, you drive. People, I don't know if they feel nice.
Also, yes, and like you're mentioning, I remember my late mom was like, back in the 60s when she was younger, she was like, back then Zambia actually used to be very clean. People were responsible and they were actually doing the right things and putting litter where it's supposed to be. And when my late mom was still alive, she was even like where has this culture come from of just throwing things anyhow and just being so careless? And we've been talking about responsibility, and even our beloved President Hakainde Hichilema has been talking about us being responsible. We can't be crying to the government all the time. We can't be running to the government all the time. Do this for us, do that for us. We can also be responsible. We can just pick up litter, and because some of these things are just self-inflicted. The throwing of litter is a self-inflicted wound. We can even see that there are bins, and imagine we can see that a bin is that side. We can see that there are trash cans this side, but for some reason we just choose to just throw things anyhow. So we really need to re-educate ourselves and just deal with this issue, because I really struggle to find out where this habit has come from, because you've noticed, I'm sure all of us have noticed in town, sometimes you even see that there is a bin this side, but someone will just choose to throw something in a drainage or wherever they feel like throwing it. So we really need to re-educate ourselves and change our mindsets.
What you have mentioned, especially of where people have to throw in the trash. I think also it's very much important, especially maybe, I don't know, it could be some of the reasons, especially when you're walking in town, you find that some of the bins, they are not seen. Maybe it could be some of the bins, they are not seen, especially when you move Lumumba Road. You find that people, there's a lot, that load Lumumba Road, people just throw in now. It could also be, maybe we can see how maybe the city council can help out, especially in cleaning and also ensuring there can be more bins, maybe especially people when they want to dispose some certain things, because you find that someone might walk, like you mentioned, there are people who just do it deliberately. Yes, because some of them, maybe they think, for me to walk some miles, for me to go and throw it in the bin. Maybe if maybe the city council can come up maybe with bins, like just few meters from where people are passing, especially the walkways, that side where the pedestrians are walking, maybe we can have some bins all over. I think it can help also, maybe especially for people to take responsibility for them to be throwing those trash in the bins, because some of the people just do it deliberate, like they just, like you mentioned of one of the passenger in the car, just throw. How can you throw just a trash rush, you are in a bus because no one sees you. Think as if now no one sees you, you can do that. So yes, people
again, I think also we need to take make use of technology.
Okay.
As a country, we need to make use of technology because.
What do you mean by that?
Okay. So I've seen there's a certain video I watched from a certain country where they don't allow plastic in their countries to throw plastic. So they avoid anything that would lead them to throw plastic or to have more plastic in their country. So what they do is most of the time find that plastic are found when people want to take a drink or water or maybe a sachet. So what they do there, they have a press where a designated press where it's more like an ATM or like a booth where you deposit a coin, then there are cups there. A cup will come, then if you want to take water, you just take water, you drink, you leave the cup there, you go just like that. So find that these to my booth, they were made like almost in nearby places in their town there where you can't go with a bottle, walking with a bottle of water in your bag. Really? So most of the places where they just more like a dispenser, where you just put a coin there, you put money, you open, you take water, you drink, you leave it there. So I find that their place is very clean. So if we make our country to be like that also, we say okay, no more bottles, no more bottles. I think it will really help us. Find that you will never find a bottle, you never find a sachet of water there. Most of the things that we will find in flooding is bottles of water and sachets of water. It's rare that you find diapers. Mostly it's bottles, plastics, bottles and sachet of water. So when we think our technology in that lines also, I think it can help us also to.
Yes, I love the point you have mentioned of people going by that, which means most of us will be walking with coins now.
Instead of walking with a bottle of water,
we'll be walking with coins. So that we can actually and get water from the dispenser, which is just by the by the wall, just by the wall.
Mainly they were just made by the wall. More like the way we find ATMs just like that. So if we have those things like that in Zambia, I think will be a great nation, and this kind of crying of flooding, I think it would be just, when you're about to do something or you're working on something, you can't just do one thing and it stops. No. It takes you to do several things. So when we talk about flooding, how we will stop it. So I find that technology to be one of the things that would stop flooding. Also, being responsible as a community is one thing that will help us to fight flooding. Also, the government making proper drainages is one thing that will help us to work on the flooding. So if we take these things step by step, working on them, you'll find that Zambia, it will be say there's a kind of flood. That's a story we should have, and that's a vision we should have as Zambia, as an individual, saying in the future, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, I need to see Zambia to be on this level. It should be a history saying, okay, we need to have photos say this is how we have worked so hard, so that even those people that are coming, they are saying, oh, this place was dead, but because of the hard working of some people, because of technology, it has stopped. So they have to take it now. It's more like you're taking the generation now. You see, where you are fulfilling the dreams of someone or the visions of people. It have to exceed to further people that are coming. The whole generation has to be renewed just like that.
Yeah, like you have mentioned, I think it's high time that household and business can actually take responsibility in order to ensure that the environment is clean, so that we avoid those drainage blockages. Like most of the times we admire our country, some other countries where we say, no, I wish I was in America. I wish I was in Japan. I wish I was in this country. If we don't change, especially our mind and how we do things, we'll keep on admiring foreign countries. Say, no, I wish I can travel to this one. I wish I can travel to this one because it's dead. But the same person who is admiring the other countries, the same person who is throwing trash in. We see people. What people are thinking and what they are doing is parallel. It's parallel to development. Is because something, I can do this. I wish I can be in this country. I remember someone mentioned a comment. He said, I know if we were to take the whole Zambian people, we take them to America, we take them to America, and we take all the Americans, they come to Zambia. You'll find that the America will become Zambia in 5 years, and Zambia will come America in the next 5 years. So
True,
I think
it can.
People really need to work on
it's a mindset.
Yes. I think people really need to work on their mindset so that we can actually we can take responsibility in cleaning up the drainage, and also making sure that where the trash is supposed to be thrown, it's thrown in the right place. Yes.
Yeah, actually, I was taking one of the girl. She's a friend from just Kamanga there. So when we were moving, we were eating some guavas. So she had those to my guava covers to Kamba tuja. So tienda mroad, she's like, if you see a bean mroad, you should tell me. She had put them in the hand from Kamanga up to Unza, just waiting until she found a bean there to throw. Said, wow. This is what we want. So if we have such kind of mentality in Kamanga, you find that Kamanga will fight flooding, because everyone wards it until they find the right place to dispose of that.
Yes. I think that what you have said is a very good point, because at times flooding is not really because of heavy rains, which has caused especially blockages of drainage. It could be because of the debris drainage are blocked. So if we can take responsible, I think it will easy things for us to actually we find that the drainage which was supposed to be blocked, they unblocked because it's clean and it's safe. Yes.
And maybe also the last thing maybe what I would say when it comes to fighting of flooding, also I would say the government, maybe the Minister of Lands should also take part in this, because you find that when you go to some places like Obama, the roads are very small. The roads are very small where you can't make a drainage. So I find that even the giving of the plots also determines how in the future you fight the drainage system.
Okay.
So I find that when it becomes a shanty compound where it's a house here, water will be nowhere to pass.
Okay.
To just start where there's just a depression. So when giving plots, at least if they start giving plots, at least and leave a big road. I just thank the one who was working, the Lusaka City Council that worked in Chalala. When you go to Chalala, there's a very, very big road. Street road, Manyumba Bantu, Chalala, you can make a highway there. You can make even 2 lanes there and just in Chalala there, the roads. Because the one that we are giving some places, the plots there, I think it's the Lusaka City Council. The places were so big that even when they think of a drainage, they can make a very big drainage in a very big tarmac. So if you have been to Obama, you will notice that most of the roads, they are very small, very small.
Yes.
And Obama is a place, it's more like it has to my hills, it goes down like so. Find that if it's down like this, what will be nowhere to go to, just flood there. And people find that sometimes when I used to stay in Obama there, if it rains, the car used to take it to the car park. It can't enter inside. It can't even enter. So also the giving of plots. Since we have rent, say, okay, now Lusaka we have messed up already, we have given the shanty compound. In different places, like Chongwe, we have Kasisi, we have 10 miles, 15 miles there, where it's still a bush, people are still buying my plots. I just encourage those that are people that are selling those plots to take care and also to take this matter serious of leaving a very big road and where a drainage can be put, a big drainage and the good road. I think it will help us in the future.
Okay. Yes, and speaking of communities, like we also ask, like, what role can communities play? And I think one of the roles is organizing cleanup campaigns.
Yes.
In Rwanda, if I'm not mistaken, every weekend the community gets up and they start sweeping the streets. They start removing trash and cleaning the roads and different parts. And you find that Kigali is actually one of the cleanest cities in Africa, if not the cleanest city in Africa. But Kigali, Rwanda is very, very clean because there are organized campaigns to keep the city clean, where people just go flat out. Marketeers, bus drivers, you just name it. People start cleaning the streets every weekend, and people are proactive so that they can see that that the city of Kigali is clean and looks very presentable. And a lot of people who've traveled to Kigali actually say, no, Kigali is beautiful. Kigali is very clean. And I think even as residents of Lusaka or in any other city of Zambia or any other town or community, we can actually emulate what they're doing in Rwanda, where the whole community actually gets up and decides to clean up.
Yes, I think what you have mentioned is very true. I remember, I don't know if it's still happening. There was what was happening some months back where the women community, they would clean up. I don't know if it was happening, where the women would gather.
It used to happen, but now I no longer see them. Even some youths, in my community, even some youths, I used to see them, find that they would do, they would bring some women and men and also youths together, and you find that they will go, if they target Greatest Road to clean Greatest Road, they'll clean the drainages, they'll clean the road, they'll pick all the litters. So if that promotion, if we continue promoting on that, I think it can help us.
I think that initiative was a very good one. If it can continue that one, whereby
keep Zambia clean.
That one, because I remember when I would, before coming for work here, I would pass through China and I would see a lot of women. They are outside, they're busy cleaning the drainage, they're busy doing that. I think if that thing can actually be can be done more, I think it can actually help a lot. Yes.
Actually, there's this money for is it cash for transfer? Cash for work.
Yes, social
transfer, cash for work.
Transfer.
Yes. So you find that this money, it's a money that is designated to give people, to help people in the society. So now the government has thought it was saying, instead of us giving these people just money for free, let them do a little job. So finally, those people that used to do my cleaning, my road, my drainages, those people are paid monthly by the government. So finally, when you register yourself, you go and clean there, you have like 600, because there was a time I wasn't working. I saw some people were just cleaning and say, what's happening? He said, no, just have to go to the kitchen, then you come and clean. So that way I went to register. I almost for 3 months cleaning the road. So also, the government should not stop this system of empowering youths and women cleaning the road. They are really helping them, and also the national at large. Also, it's more like saying killing two birds with one stone.
Yes,
you are helping. Again, things are moving. So if the government also consists doing that, I think it can really help us. It will motivate people, help them, and also keep the nation clean.
The Minister of Community Development and Social Service should continue doing the social cash transfer programs. It will really help, especially the women, because social cash transfer mostly is targeted for the women and the people in the community. I think everyone can apply for that. If that one can be invested, more money can be invested, so that more women in the community and also people who are just idle, who are not doing anything, they can take part into that. I think it will really help, especially cleaning the drainage. We are talking of drainage blockages. I think we won't be able to experience these things, and we'll find that the compound will be clean. Why? Because they have empowered those women. Yes.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So, dear viewer, we want to hear from you. Have you experienced flooding in your community? Are you experiencing debris in your area? And how is your community responding? Please send us your stories, your pictures, or videos even to our social media pages. And it's a call to action for all of us. So indeed, it's a call to action.
Yes. Even as we are concluding, maybe what can be our last word to the viewers?
Prevention starts with us. Prevention is better than cure.
Exactly,
so we need to prevent this thing, and also not us that find solution. How we're going to work this fight, but let's prevent it by doing the right things, by having the correct mindset. I think from my side, that's what I can say for us to reduce fighting.
Yes. For me, it's personal responsibility. As has already been said, we need to take personal responsibility. We need to take care of ourselves and think of the environment, because if we are throwing things around, if we are just being careless, we are contributing to outbreaks like cholera, typhoid, and other waterborne diseases, and even the common diarrhea we normally experience just because of uncleanness. Yes, we have issues with climate change, but we shouldn't add fuel to the fire. We shouldn't add salt to the wound. We should take personal responsibility and take care of ourselves, be responsible for our own environments, and be good stewards of what we have been given. We should be responsible and do the right thing.
Yes, viewers, you heard it for yourself. This was morning breakfast where we were talking about the community, we were talking about the climate change and the future. Yes, you heard it for yourself, and what we discussed here was really amazing. Hope you took something so that we can actually implement it. Shouldn't just end from the talk, but we should actually do something over what we have discussed. Even as we are coming to the conclusion, just maybe with the viewers who are watching us for the first time, we are still running a competition that we are calling Battle of the Mic, which was Battle of the Choir, and we are still registering those choirs who would love to join for this competition. If you are an individualist, you can sing. If you know how to sing, you want to join this competition, the doors are still open, and we are closing soon. So we are calling upon your viewers so that you can register yourself and you can win some of the prizes that we are actually giving away. There are some of the prizes we are giving away: 100,000, 50,000, and 30,000, and the last is 20,000. So you stand a chance either to win a 20,000, either to win a 30,000, or either to win a 50,000, or either to come out number one and be able to walk away with 100,000 kwacha. So you can actually phone in on the numbers that are actually scrolling on the screen there, and then we'll give you more information how you can register. And the registration process is simple. You can just send a 2-minute recorded video of yourself singing, or your choir singing, or your band singing, or your group singing. Once you send that song, you send it to our WhatsApp number, which I'll be able to give out. When you send it, make sure you indicate the name of your group, or if you're an individual, indicate your name so that we can actually keep record of that. And also we'll be able to send you the registration form. That registration form, you are going to fill in the details. So once you fill in the details, you are going to scan it and send it back to us. So the registration process, we made it so easy that you don't have to walk into our studio for you just to register your choir. You can do it wherever you are. You can do it online, whether you're in Northern Province, you are in Eastern Province, Southern Province, or Central Province, or Northwestern Province. You can still register for this competition. What you have to do is just do it online. Registration is online. Or if you want to come to our physical location, you can still visit us. But if you want, you can still do it online. Like I've mentioned, you just send us a 2-minute video and we'll be able to send you the form. That form, you're going to print it out, and then you're going to fill in your details. Once you fill in your detail, you scan it, then you send it to our WhatsApp. Once you send it to our WhatsApp, then you have joined the competition. Then there is a registration fee which is non-refundable, which is just a 250 kwacha. Once you pay that 250 kwacha, then you have joined in for this competition. So every day the Battle of the Choir is running from 14 to 15 hours. You can be able to watch yourself. There are other choirs who have already registered, and every Saturday, if you are within Lusaka, would love you can come to our TV station if you have registered, so that we can actually give you a platform or time where you can actually speak to the viewers who are watching you to vote for you, or you can actually sell your music, you can sell yourself. So we're giving you that opportunity. Let's continue registering, and we'll be more happy to see you. So this is the number where you can send in the 2-minute recorded video. It is 096 123 7304. 096-123-7304. This number is only for WhatsApp sending videos. You only just send videos. Don't call this number. The number that you have to call is 077 199 3347. 077 199 3347. This is the number that you can actually phone in for more information if you want to find out for more details, and we'll be able to give you the details and the other things that you need to know about this competition. So right now we are still doing registration, and the grand finale, the competition, will end on 18th of July. So would love you can actually register your choir. Thank you so much for watching the Morning Breakfast Show.